there, I'm Shauna from the Yoga Center Winnipeg, and welcome to Yoga Snacks. Okay, today we're going to work a little bit with some breath work. We're going to do yoga postures as well, but we're going to start with breath work. Let's start lying down. So blanket or a pillow for your head and your knees bent, feet on the floor. If you have some books or something like yoga blocks, we'll use them in a little while too. But let's start knees bent, feet on the floor, and lie down. And just make sure you're comfortable. If your floor is cold, you might want a blanket or something so that you can relax. Check, though, that your feet are pointing straight ahead. Sometimes it's hard to see those feet. And that your knees are pointing straight ahead. Let your arms rest beside you, and that's this pose called the constructive rest pose. And just take a few moments to let your body settle here. This is a great pose. You could definitely do this any time of the day. You can do it in bed. You can do it outside on the grass. And start to let the body relax. And one of the things with this pose is it lets some of the muscles that are deep in your core relax, and that can really help reduce stress. It also helps for breathing, just because you don't have to work so much to stay upright. So we're going to put the hands, or I like to use fingertips, on the belly. And so just lower belly, so notice where your navel is, close to the navel, maybe a little bit lower. And while you breathe in, imagine breathing into the belly like it's a balloon, filling it up. And when you breathe out, let the belly empty, and just repeat. If it feels at all uncomfortable or stressful, then don't do it. Instead, you can just watch the breath the way it is naturally, or if breath work makes you feel anxious, try just feeling your belly area. Instead of focusing on the breath, focus on the actual sensations. Okay. And then we're going to go up to just above the navel and your side ribs, and it's kind of nice to put a thumb back and the fingers forward. And now, when you're breathing into this mid area, you're more in the direct area of the diaphragm, which tends to move laterally. So as you inhale, just help that a little bit, breathing out towards your hands. As you exhale, you just let that draw in. And 2 or 3 or 4 of those. And you might find that your body has a little bit of trouble with this. Maybe it hurts, or maybe you can't access it. And not judging that, just notice. Breath tends to like being calm. So if we worry too much, then it kind of affects the breath. So if it's not working, don't worry, just notice. Third place is to bring the hands into the upper chest. So collarbones are here, shoulders are here, kind of going into the space between the collarbones and the shoulders, and just inviting breath into the upper lungs. And you might feel that the body expands as you inhale, deflates as you exhale. And again, if that's not happening, don't worry. You know, the nice thing is we've been breathing for thousands of years, more than thousands of years as humans, and we'll keep breathing. You don't really need to do breathing exercises, but it's also quite profound when you pay attention to the breath. Okay, third place is to have one hand on the belly, maybe one hand on the chest, and we're going to put it together so that as you breathe in, you're breathing down belly, middle, upper chest, and as you breathe out, upper, middle, belly. And again, if it's not really going like that, don't worry too much. Belly, middle, upper, upper, middle, belly. Inhale, fully expanding. Exhale, emptying. Okay, and then just letting the breath flow naturally. You can relax your arms, and we'll start to drop the knees from side to side. Okay, next time your knees are centered, bring your right knee in. Hold at the back of the thigh or around the shin, or if you have trouble reaching, use a belt. And then we'll take the hand to the back of the leg, and as you inhale, straighten the leg. As you exhale, bend. And straighten and bend a few times at your own pace. Next time the leg is straight, circle your ankle. Wiggle your toes. And then lift up through your right leg. And let's say, inhale, arms over the head and lower your right leg to the floor. Oh, I think I used the wrong breath. It's okay. Inhale, take your right leg up and your hands down. Exhale, arms overhead, leg to the floor. Inhale, leg up, arms down. Exhale, leg down, arms up. One more. Inhale, leg up, arms down. Exhale, leg down, arms up. And then this time, finish it by hugging your knee to your chest. Curl your head towards your knee. And then lower your head, lower your knee. Okay, so we'll try that on the other side. As you exhale, bring your left leg in, hold the back of the thigh or the shin. And then begin to raise and lower the leg. And then circle your ankle. Wiggle your toes. Okay. And then leg up and arms at the side. And then as you exhale, take your left leg down, your arms over your head. Inhale, left leg up, arms down, and repeat. One more. This next time when you bring your arms in, bring your leg in, curl your head towards your knee, and then lower your head down to the floor. Put your left foot down. Okay, and then roll to your side. Use the support of your hands to lift yourself up. And come to a hands and knees position. And we'll put a blanket under the knees. You don't need the blanket. It's just if you have any knee sensitivity, this will give you some extra support. And come to what's called tabletop position. So your shoulders and wrists line up. Sometimes it's a little bit easier on the wrists if your shoulders are back a little bit. Turn your elbow creases to face one another, but have the creases of the wrists parallel to the front edge of your mat. And that way your wrist joint is parallel, and then the knees pretty well under your hips. And we'll do what's called cat-cow. So round the back into the cat. And then let the belly drop, come into cow. Instead of hanging in your lower back, which could cause a little pinching, you just keep the belly tucked in just a little bit. So you get a real opening in your upper chest and some opening into your lower back. Round and arch. Exhale when you go into the cat shape. And inhale when you come into this one. And we'll do two more. Rounding. Exhale. Inhale. Coming to the cat shape, cow shape. And then from here, press into your hands, curl your toes under, lift your knees, and then start to walk your feet in place. Press into your hands, step one leg down and then the other, like you're massaging your feet. Maybe you're going to take the blanket and move it out of the way. And then you can walk your feet towards your hands, walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees a little bit and slowly uncurl your spine. Come all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms and look at the ceiling, and then like you're bringing part of the sky down to your heart. Bring your hands down. Look to check that your feet are even. Tuck your chin around your spine, rolling down. And then roll back up as if the base of your spine, the tailbone, was heavy. Sweep your arms, come up. We'll do it one more time. Hands glide down. Tuck the chin, roll down. And then slowly roll back up. Sweeping your arms. Exhaling your hands down and to your heart. And then shake everything out. Okay. Okay, so I want to show a breath. It's called the Ujjayi breath, and it's a breath that makes a sound, and the sound's a little bit of a whisper. And so what we're doing is softening the top of the throat back. Some people say it's like creating a smile at the top of the throat. And the breath makes kind of a whisper, or maybe a Darth Vader sound if you're a Star Wars fan. Sometimes the sound of the ocean. It's often like fogging a mirror. So when you go, or cleaning your glasses, so that's the sound, except your mouth is closed. So we're going to test it out. So you stand in Tadasana, feet point straight ahead. They can be comfortable distance apart. And as you breathe in, you're narrowing the throat passage a little. And as you breathe out, so it slows the breath down, and that sometimes gives you a little bit more control to fill the whole body, to empty the whole body. So let's test it out. As you inhale, slow. Sweep your arms. And as you exhale, slowly bring your arms down. And let's play with the arms a little bit. So have your palms open to the side and keep it that way. Arms coming down. Do that again. Palms stay open. Okay, and then turn your palms to face your sides and take the arms up directly in front. Inhale up. Slow exhale down. And repeat. Inhale. Up. Exhale down. One more. Okay. And then let's just do a little bit of standing poses. So you can take your feet wide apart. We're going to work with warrior first. So outer edges of the feet parallel to the mat. The more comfortable you are in these poses, the wider you can go. But you can also have the feet quite narrow. Starting with the feet wide, as you inhale, arms up, coming into the T shape. So we call this one 5-pointed star. Take a few breaths here. And then turn your whole right leg out. So the foot turns, the shin turns, top of the thigh turns. And as you exhale, bend your right knee. So your right knee centered over your right heel. This thigh is turning out, which conveniently moves the mic out of the camera view. Press this leg strongly back and press into the foot so you have super strong legs. And then inhale, arms up and reach out through your fingertips. Tailbone down and head turns to look over your fingertips. Find your breath. Maybe use this Ujjayi or ocean sounding breath to help keep you focused, help regulate the breath. Sometimes it's very soothing. Okay, and then we're going to straighten the right leg. If you feel comfortable to keep your arms up, do. Otherwise, a little break with hands on hips is good. Turn your right foot to face forward. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Check that the thigh is turned out and you're pressing evenly into the foot. As you exhale, bend your left leg. Left knee lines with the left ankle. Right foot pressing into the outer edge. Inhale. Let's sweep the arms up high, reach up through the fingertips and exhale, arms down. Keep this leg, thigh turns out even though the knee and the foot are pointing straight ahead. Strong back leg, steady breaths. And then straighten the left leg, turn the feet to face forward, narrow the distance between the feet somewhat. Feel steady here, and then take your hands and interlace them behind your back. So clasp the hands. You can squeeze the hands together if you can. If you can't reach like that, holding a belt or something similar behind your back is a good option. First, draw down, stay standing upright, lift your hands so they're lifting behind you, getting an opening into the chest, a little shoulder opener. Look up and then fold forward, go forward from the hips, and as you go forward, let the arms come all the way up and over your head. And then bend the right leg and take your right shoulder towards your right knee. Then straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee. Take the left shoulder towards the left knee. Straighten the left leg. Lift the knuckles up towards the ceiling and let the arms be as if they're coming over your head towards the floor. Don't fall over. You won't. Press into your feet. Look up. Use your arms to help you come up. Come all the way up. Just take a moment and remember which baby finger's on the outside. We're going to come back to that pose, but for now we'll take a little bit of a wider step between the feet. If that's available to you, turn your right leg out 90 degrees. Just like warrior, maybe you turn your back foot in, your back hip in a little, bend your right knee, and now side bend. Right elbow onto thigh, or if you have the flexibility to bring your hand down to the floor, you can. Block is also good. My block's far away from now. Or if you have a chair, so I have a chair behind me, it's pretty far, so I'm not going to use that. Elbow on thigh will go well. Roll your chest open, left hand onto the hip, and then use your breath to sweep your arm forward, Press a strong line from your back foot to your front fingertips. Breathe, and even turn a little. It's called extended side angle, or also Parshva Konasana. Press into your feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn your feet to face forward. Let's turn the left foot out 90 degrees. Right foot turns in. Dun, dun, dun. Bend the left knee. Thighs turning out. So legs are exactly like warrior two. Pelvis tips. Right elbow on right thigh. Hand can be on that chair support, or if you have a block, hand on the block. Roll the chest open, rib cage open, strong back leg, and then with an inhale, arm reaches forward. Have a sense that there's a long line between your right foot and your right fingertips, maybe even looking up. Where's the breath? Great. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet to face forward. Toes maybe slightly in. You can decide. You can bring your feet in a lot or keep them wide. Interlace your fingers with the other baby finger on the outside. Draw the knuckles down, look up. Exhale, go forward. Because my feet are wide, my head almost reaches the floor. If that happens, you're allowed to rest your head on the floor. You could take your arms up and over. Press strongly into your feet so you're stable. Spread the toes. And then once again, bend the right knee. Take your shoulder a little bit to the right. Straighten your right leg. Bend your left knee. Take your shoulder a little to the left. Straighten the leg. Press into both feet. Then use your arms to help lift yourself up. Look up. Come all the way up. Hands can come to the hips. And then step your feet together. Just stand. Feel your breath, your heartbeat. Let your breath flow naturally here. Okay. And then come on down to your mat. So we're going to use, if you've got blocks or books, you can stack them up. If you're more comfortable with yoga, you're welcome to go a little higher. Otherwise, a stack like that is going to be nice. And lie down on your back. So similar to how we started, knees are bent. This time we'll do a couple of repetitions. Move the blocks out of the way for a moment. So you start by pressing into your feet, lift your hips, arms go up overhead, and then hips go down, arms go down. And we'll do 2 or 3. Inhale, maybe use that Ujjayi breath as you lift your hips and your arms. Exhale, lower your back down. And again, inhale. Exhale. One more. Okay, and then you can take your block or your blocks and press into your feet. Lift your hips, put one block under your sacrum, or it can be on its side, or stack 2. If they're books, it's going to be stacked. And sacrum, so the top edge of my tights is a little higher than my sacrum, but my lower back is off, my pelvis is on the blocks. Feel steady. Feet are pointing straight ahead. It shouldn't hurt or pinch in your back. So if it's pinching, go a little lower or engage your legs a little more. You might bend your elbows to help keep your chest lifted. And if this feels comfortable, feel free to stay here. If it doesn't, go to a lower height or even rest with your back on the floor. Okay, so for some people, we're going to try an inversion. So you lift your knees up, your feet come off the floor. Test this out. If this is okay, then you straighten the legs. Balance with your hips on the block, legs in the air. If that hurts your back at all, try a lower height. Keep the legs a little bit active, hugging towards one another, and bend your elbows so you're using your arms to keep your chest lifted. We're not going to stay here a really long time. If you're new to doing inversions, it's best to do them with an actual teacher in person so they can check your body, make sure you're doing it in a way that won't injure yourself. Put your feet down, press into your feet, lift your hips. Take your blocks out, let your back slowly lower to the mat. Rest for a few moments. Okay, and then one more pose. I'm going to take a block or a book or a pillow, and then some support that's a little higher. So let's go with this and this. So you've got your chest lifted. You're going to rest the shoulder blades on the block, and then your head is a little bit higher so that your chin is tucking towards your chest. Start with your knees bent and feel this. Should feel supportive and opening into the upper chest. Straighten the legs. And start to relax here and feel, instead of directing your breath, just tune your attention to your breathing, especially for now, feel in your upper chest. and into this diaphragm area. And just notice, you can notice the effects of the practice, notice the effects of the posture. If you like, because of this head position, it sort of naturally inspires that Ujjayi breath. Creates a little bit of a chin lock or a throat lock that makes the breath come in with the whisper sound. Great. And this is a pose you're welcome to revisit anytime on your own. It's really nice. But we're going to come out. To come out, bend your knees, lift your head, carefully sit up, take the block out from underneath you. I'm going to tuck a block under my head because I don't have a blanket nearby. You can do this with nothing or a little pillow, and then start to settle down into Shavasana. But before you relax completely, let's go back to the breath. And take a few conscious breaths, breathing into the belly, the middle and the upper chest, and emptying upper, middle, and belly. Maybe one more of those, and then let your breath just relax completely. Stop controlling anything. Let your body rest, your mind rest, heart open. As always, you're welcome to stay. I'm going to roll to my side and sit up. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.